Please welcome Tyler Miller.
How's everyone doing? Everyone staying dry? It's getting a little wet. It's even better, right? So why are we doing Initiative 1621? Why did I come up with this initiative? Very simple. Our rights don't end at a mythological line on a property somewhere, right? We don't believe that. We don't believe that just because I step on the curb of a school ground or on a ball field or inside of a classroom, that all of a sudden I've stopped being a citizen of this country. Now, what spawned me to come up with this idea? Well, I'll tell you, our little girls go to a private Christian school. We have 6 classrooms. We have one of our one of our parents does the janitorial service for us. She's a woman, she's great, and she asked us permission to carry her pistol. She has a valid CPL from her car inside the building. She even offered to buy a safe and lock it up when she's inside the building. She just wanted to have the protection between her car and the parking lot at night and walking inside. We looked at the law and we realized we can't give her that permission. We're not allowed. That's not what we believe in this country, is it? We're a republic. We like to believe that the local citizens have the best ability to make the decisions for themselves, for their localities. Because we know that Seattle's going to do it way differently than Spokane, way differently than Bellingham, way differently than Bremerton. We like to have that local control. So that's why Initiative 1621 is important. It revises our concealed carry laws and allows anyone that has a valid CPL to be legally carrying on school grounds. Now, let's dispel one of the arguments right away. If you are not a parent at a school, if you're not a teacher at the school, if you're not a volunteer that regularly goes to that school, can you just show up at a school and walk around? No. Of course not. So if this initiative passes, are you going to be able to show up and just walk around with your firearm? No, of course not. This is not about instilling a private security force. This is about giving our local school districts the ability to have the conversation that is happening in the rest of the country. Now, we know that places like Tehopish, there's some counties and some school districts that have already given some administrators the right to carry. The law does allow them to do that right now. But it places the power with the school district. I want the power of the individual, the teacher who wants to carry, to go to their school district, to go to their principal and say, I want to carry my firearm. And I don't want the school district and the school to be able to tell them, no, you can't. Now, what I do allow in this initiative is the school district can require any employee to have a minimum level of training. They get to determine that. That's proper. That's local control. And if you don't like the policy they put in place, then you need to take a more active part in your school board, right? But we believe in the power of the individual. We believe in the rights of the individual. And that's what this initiative is about. Now, do I want school teachers or principals acting as security guards? I don't, not personally, no. Some people might, but I don't. What I envision is a scenario where if there, God forbid, is an incident in a school, and a teacher hears gunshots outside their classroom, I do not want them abandoning their kids in their classroom to go out and try and put this perpetrator down. That's not their intent. That's not why they're there. I want them to try and get their kids out if they can. And if they can't, I want them to barricade the classroom as best as they can and get their kids away from the windows, away from the doors. But if that perpetrator is trying to get in, if that perpetrator is breaking through the windows, breaking down the door and getting into that classroom, I want that teacher to at least have the choice, the ability to equip themselves with the best tool available in a life and death situation to defend themselves and their kids.
Not a baseball bat?
Not a baseball bat.
Not a fucking rocks.
Not rocks.
Not a pet tiger? What about
Maybe a pet tiger. That might have some more liability issues, but no, a firearm. This isn't about mandating. This isn't about forcing people to do anything they don't want to do. This is about choice. This is about liberty. Isn't that what we believe in? Liberty. Choosing, making decisions for yourself. Now, we're not concerned about level of training, all right? If you make a decision to carry a firearm, you've already made a decision to take responsibility for yourself. I don't think there's any teacher in the world who's going to say, well, except for maybe that jackass in Parkland, right? Left his loaded Glock in a bathroom. Who believes that story's real? Anybody? I don't think so. Anyway, we're not talking about forcing people who don't want to or don't feel comfortable around firearms to pick up a weapon. We're talking about enabling choice, giving the power of liberty to the individual to make the right decision. And as a result, what do we get? We get enhanced security. We get better schools. We really believe that local school districts, that teachers, that people cannot come up with the safety plans to make this effective. If we believe that, then we might as well throw away the Constitution. We might as well get rid of a republic and just go to a dictatorship, because that means we don't believe in the power of the people to make good decisions. You know, one of my favorite lines in the movie Men in Black. Everyone seen that movie? And he's talking on the park bench just after Will Smith has discovered, there's aliens or anything like that. And Will Smith's like, why don't you just tell everybody that people are smart? Tommy Lee Jones looks back and says, a person is smart. People are dumb, panicky animals, and you know it. That's partially true. But people is what have made this country work for over 200 years. Common people came together with ideas, and they talked about them. They argued about them. They debated about them. How many people remember that the Bill of Rights was not even wanted in the Constitution? They fought tooth and nail to keep the Bill of Rights out of the Constitution. Big fight, right? Then, when they got the agreement to have the Bill of Rights, they didn't even want the Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights. You know why? Because no one thought that it needed to be protected. No one thought that we would ever face a time where this idea of personal ownership and personal responsibility would ever have to be debated. But we are. And right now, the laws in this state do not allow us to have the debate. We need to get Initiative 1621 on the ballot, and we need to get it passed so that we can have the conversation, we can have the debate. If you're scared of having the debate, then you don't love the same country that I love. With that, we got petitions over here to sign. And you know what? Even if you're on the fence about it, sign the petition. Let the debate happen. You're not voting for it. You're simply allowing the debate to happen to vote for it. And that's all I think I got. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thanks for braving the weather. Sign the initiative.